This morning I noticed that Labor Day was trending on hashtags on Tweetzup. What was interesting about it is that I had just a few keywords that correlated thousands of tweets. And when I pressed the play button of the last hour, an interval of 10 minutes, I can see that the topics are somewhat consistent. Friday, happy, Labor Day, switching in intensity from minutes to minutes, but the cloud doesn't really move. Also, it stays quite stagnant, and it's normal because over here we have no particular event other than Labor Day itself, with a single focus, an outcry of happiness, of preparation for the weekend. It's Friday, thank God it's Friday, and then Monday, and so on. So this is somewhat expected. Now let's look at something a little more, I would say, agitated. So let's look at Obama. When I click on Obama, and right now Obama was the highest trending topic, right away I noticed that there's a lot more tags and a lot more topics associated with Obama. Around Syria, around option, around executive, approval, Nobel. Interesting. And what do I notice here? So Nobel, Barack, para, so there must be some Spanish over here. Paz, yes, war, and president. So let's look at the results. So now the system has identified that Nobel was correlated in some way with all these keywords. And here are the tweets. So I don't have to read the tweets to find out what's going on or to read a multitude of tweets to know their importance. Tweetzup has done that already for me. And here I scroll down, and obviously I will notice Spanish, but here is in English. So Obama Nobel Prize winner on war footing this morning. So the contradiction between a Nobel Prize winner or Peace Nobel Prize winner and going to war, I guess, is raising some interest and sort of contradiction to be expressed by people. But now let's play the play button, and let's look at the last 1 hour and see how the topics have changed over 1 hour. So I will untag Nobel, and I will press the play button. Activist, London, President, 7:20, London, here we go, Britain, Reuters, again London, very high focus, and now we're back to Syria, again London, and Cameron, and now London is kind of like left a little bit behind, and by 8:10 now we're back on most probably more US news-centric or more US-centric position about what's going on in Syria. So that's a highly active ZUP, but also focused around events that we can expect, and we saw some anomalies by noticing the word Nobel. Let's try to look at something that has a more of a generic topic. So if I look at something as simple, well, maybe why not fishing? What are the terms trending around fishing right now? So brightly timed fishing, fun. Okay, so that's what's happening. Seems pretty. Senegal. That's interesting. Why Senegal? Some blood going. Okay, so we have some people who are expressing themselves here. So let's press the play button and see how fishing has evolved. Daredevil, carp, and these are the strong hook, obviously, strong terms. Okay, and then again over here we can notice that there is a serious movement of different themes, but pretty expected. I'm going to search for earthquake. And I hope that earthquake, here we go, we have a ZUP on earthquake, and we have a whole series of ZUP so that mentioned earthquake on tsunami, on fracking California, tsunami, fracking California. But let's go directly to the earthquake ZUP, which is dedicated to collect tweets that mention earthquake. Oh, now that is interesting. Okay, so if I press the play button, Shanghai, Chile, California, Chile again, so it must have been important, Virginia, magnitude, Jingxing, and over here, Chile, again Chile, but I did notice California. So let's go take the time slider and move it back to where I think here we go, California. Let's click on California. So 10 kilometers offshore, 3.2 offshore Northern California. And there you go, California earthquake over here also on the most recent video. I could look at the most popular, but the most popular would not be really relevant in the context of earthquake. But then again, you know, it seems to be consistent. It's just a question of order in this case. So there you go. You're able to see that you can consume tweets without the burden of reading every single tweet or being glued to your screen. Actually, if we go back to the earthquake example, let me show you something else. I have 3 alerts. And if I click on alerts, I've got Massachusetts, because this is where I live. Train, because I like to see if something's happening, if a train derails because of an earthquake. And Japan. My wife happens to travel often to Japan. And what I've decided over here is that when the theme is emerging for 30 minutes, in other words, it is sustaining momentum for 30 minutes, then I want to notify my community. And that's how I do it, through Twitter. But Japan, really, I don't need to notify my community. I'm going to simply notify myself via email. And train, I'll notify myself also. But Massachusetts, my community will care. And why not particularly Boston? I also go to Montreal, so let's try actually Montreal. I'm going to add Montreal to my earthquake alert. And I'll say, well, if people are talking about it for 30 minutes, then it's significant enough. And I'll close. Now the system will automatically send me an alert, so I don't have to go in or monitor or whatnot. And actually, Tweetzup does the work for me of monitoring what's going on about a topic that I care when it becomes meaningful enough. So I won't receive an alert every time earthquake is mentioned with Montreal. I will only receive it if people have been talking about it for 30 minutes. I could have decided to receive it if they talk about it for 30 minutes. That's spiking. So this is how Tweetzup works. You can also create your own Zup. But at this point, I wanted to outline the diversity of movement that exists between Zup. And yes, these are sorted according to new topics, acceleration and movement every 10 minutes. So sometimes fishing, for some reason, 10 minutes had a greater acceleration over the last 30 minutes than Obama or Airbus or wireless. We will also be putting some form of acceleration ranking grading. That you can visualize, and everything I follow is mentioned over here. So I'm following 126 tweets, and obviously if I click on nuclear power, just to show you over here, so this is the 4th ranking in my following, and I could follow or unfollow simply by clicking this option. So I unfollowed it, and I'm following it again. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of Tweetzup and understand the contrast and how it can help you see what's up. Thank you very much.